All right, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and especially if you're new to the channel. So Dillian Whyte says that he could definitely KO Anthony Joshua because Ruiz was able to knock him out. And I'm going to be quoting Dillian Whyte. If Ruiz can knock him out, I can 100% knock him out because I'm a harder puncher than Andy Ruiz, pound for pound. I've got better feet than him as well and better boxing technique than Andy Ruiz. He's got fast hands, but his feet are slow. I've shown also in fights that I can come back from being down on the scorecards, and I carry knockout power in the later stages of the fight as well, which is a big thing for a heavyweight. A lot of heavyweights can only get you in 1 to 6 rounds. If they get you early, then that's a wrap for them. I showed you that I can get you in round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even in round 11 and 12. And I could get you. I would love to fight Joshua again at a drop of a hat. It's one of the biggest fights out there. I'm in the game to have the biggest fights and the most meaningful fights. I'm trying to make history. Imagine to get one shot at all the marbles at once. How unreal that would be after all this nonsense. Out of nowhere, me and Joshua fight. I knock him out and become undisputed champion of the world. Well, he won't become undisputed if he knocks out Joshua, but he will be the unified champion because Joshua does not have all the belts. Obviously, he does not have the WBC belt. Tyson Fury has it. He would have to be Tyson Fury and Joshua to become undisputed. The question is, could Dillian Whyte beat Anthony Joshua? I definitely do think he could knock him out. That's one thing I will say, because he showed in the first fight that he had the power to hurt Anthony Joshua. I mean, if I recall correctly, I think it was the second round. He hurt Joshua in the second round. And that fight happened 5 years ago. So I do think that, I do agree with Dillian Whyte. I do think he's a bigger puncher than Andy Ruiz Jr. He's a devastating puncher. He's knocked guys out cold, Dillian Whyte. So I do think if he lands flush on Joshua, he would have the capability of knocking him out. But I could say the exact same thing of I could say the same thing that Dillian Whyte saying about Anthony Joshua, about Dillian Whyte, because Joshua already showed that he could knock out Dillian Whyte because he did knock him out. He dropped him, right? He hurt him. And the thing about Dillian Whyte is I always felt that he fought a little bit, like he fought scared when he fought Joshua. Like he wasn't fighting his normal fight. He was like kind of on the back foot a little bit. He was trying to box Joshua. Normally he comes forward. I think he was a little intimidated by Joshua marching forward, that he kind of chose to like change his style up, because I don't remember him being that aggressive against Joshua. I don't remember him being that aggressive. It's been a while since I've seen that fight. I think I have to rewatch that fight. But the last time, like my memories of that fight was Dillian Whyte was not as aggressive as he normally is. And I think it was just the fact that he respected Joshua's punching power. I think he felt it early on and he was like, okay, let me take my time. You know, I can't rush in with this guy because he got the power to knock me out. One thing I will say is Dillian Whyte better come in shape if he fights Joshua, because he claimed that he got that fight with Joshua. He was fat in that fight. You know, he better be in shape. You know, he didn't look in shape in his last fight against Marius Walk, so he better get his ass in shape if he thinks he could beat Anthony Joshua. Like I said, that's a fight that you would have to say who has improved. How much has Dillian Whyte improved enough since he last fought Joshua 5 years ago? Like I said, I'm not saying he can't knock him out. I do think he can knock out Joshua if he catches him. But will he be able to catch him? That's the question, right? Maybe Joshua decides to box Dillian Whyte. Maybe Joshua decides to do a Andy Ruiz, what he did to Andy Ruiz in the Dillian Whyte fight. And he, you know, uses his legs. I always thought the way to beat Dillian Whyte is to outbox him. So that's an interesting fight. I do think that Joshua could get knocked out by him. But like I said, they could both knock each other out. That's a fight I wouldn't mind seeing, Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. I would not mind seeing that fight at all. But first, I would want to see, though, Joshua versus Tyson Fury. I wouldn't mind seeing Dillian Whyte versus Joshua or Tyson Fury. I'm glad that he's willing to fight. Dillian Whyte's one of those guys that he's willing to fight everyone. But first, he has to get past Alexander Povetkin. That's a tough fight for him. But yeah, what do you guys think of Dillian Whyte saying he could definitely knock out Joshua?